Don't you think your pet deserves a special treat without all those ingredients you can't pronounce? Your pet deserves the best source of ingredients. I agree. That's why Hound House Treats is established to give your pet the best all-natural handcrafted treats packed with flavor. Try our chicken, turkey, and our pink salmon jerky. These products are 100% natural and USDA certified. It's prepared without no added hormones or steroids, no growth-promoting antibiotics, no artificial ingredients, flavors, or preservatives. Grain-free. Don't cheat your dog nutrients. Treat your dog to a healthy snack at www.houndhouse.
You are now tuned into 2111 Radio Show, hosted by our program director, Derrick Scott.
Thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight. My name is Derrick Scott. I am the program director at 2111 Radio, and we have a special guest tonight. We're talking about somebody that's a screenwriter, producer, director, author. Listen, she does it all. She does it all, y'all. I'm telling you, she does it all. I'm about to bring her in here right now. Let's talk. Matter of fact,
hello. Hello.
There you go. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic.
Listen, that's good. That's good. So, introduce everybody to you. Introduce yourself to everybody and let them know who this Nadira Pankey is.
My name is Nadira Pankey. Really Nadira Aisha Zakia. That's what Nas stands for. After I wrote a book, which is right here, Evergreen Uprooted. So after I wrote my book and I used my initials, everyone just started calling me Nas. And I am a screenwriter, director, producer, content creator, lover of people. I am a mom of 2 sons, and I reside in Atlanta, Georgia, but I'm from the South Bronx, New York.
Whoa, hold up. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. That was a good one. I did not know that. Bronx? What?
I'm from this, and I'm happy to be here today on your show. I'm happy to be here, period. I'm happy to be living. And then I'm extremely happy to be here on your show.
Yes. I appreciate you for, letting us do this piece on you, because I see you doing a lot of interesting things. And when one of your friends told me about you, I did a lot of research, and you've been doing this. You've been doing your thing for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So when did the passion for this come about? High school, junior high school?
Woo! Well, let me tell you, first of all, I didn't really go to school that much. I went to college with a 3rd grade reading level. I was borderline illiterate when I went to college, but they just passed me through the educational system. So I spent, my life really taking care of everybody. I just put it Really? Yeah.
We got something in common. We're gonna talk, but go ahead. You gonna keep talking. So that's odd. So a third, wow.
Yeah.
And look at you now. Like, come on, y'all. Matter of fact, you know what? I do have a round of applause for that. Like, hold on, wait a minute. Let me get my round of applause going, because that's dope. Like, what do you mean? We're gonna get into this. Definitely get into this. So you said they passed you through.
Yeah, they passed me through. Every memory I have of school is just bad. When I was in the Bronx, I didn't like to fight. I had to fight. I had hundreds of fights. I can't even remember all the fights that I had going to school. Then when I went to class, because I had missed so much school, I grew up during the crack epidemic, and unfortunately, and my family got caught up in it. I never used it, but my mom did. So my sisters. And then when I did go to school, I always felt really dumb and behind. As a kid, it wasn't really connecting that I'm missing all these days. That's why I'm behind. I just would go stupid because I felt like, wow, everybody else knows what's going on and I don't. So it was always a real traumatic place for me to be. A lot of bullying, a lot of teasing. I didn't have what other kids had. You know, the teachers were pretty much uncomfortable with their job because they weren't being paid a lot in the South Bronx. It was just a overall bad experience for me.
Yes.
So even as an adult, I try to do everything but get an education. And I believed as an adult, I believed what I thought about myself as a kid. I thought I was stupid. I was unable.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I would never be able to really read or write or do the things that I saw normal people easily do. So I just did a lot of other things. I was always smart. I was always able to survive. I was always able to figure things out. And that's what I did. And I worked jobs where you would think I was the most educated person in the world, but I just wasn't. I was smart.
Just smart and figuring things out.
I had street sense, and then I had common sense, and that's what got me through. And that is more important than having book knowledge. Book knowledge is good, but I feel like experience in life is more important. Both are important, but experience in life is more important. I actually survived through life with a third grade reading level.
Yo, you gotta listen. That in itself. Because let me explain. Now, this is where we kind of compatible. So I'm 56 years old. So back in the days, they didn't know anything about being autistic. They didn't tell the families that. They said we was retarded. You understand? And what's going on is that I didn't know things was wrong with me until I started going outside the class, and they were showing me these little pictures. They made me draw a couple of things every time. But what happened, I had someone in my family going through the same thing, and they would say he was autistic. I didn't know this through my whole childhood, my whole adulthood. Did not know that I was autistic because I was able to read, but I was reading slow. You understand? And the words, I just couldn't pronounce the words correctly. And they had me in speech class, and they had me doing these things when I was younger. But my parents, no one knew what was going on. They just said, "Oh, he's retarded," and that was a tag. That was a tag. So now, if you think about it, if somebody calling you that, you thinking that, oh, something must be wrong, or I don't know what I'm doing. You understand? Because I'm so behind in everybody else. But as the years go on, I start reading, like you said. I start reading. I start picking up things. I start noticing the mistakes other people made that I won't make. I made sure I didn't do it. So now I'm able to read. I'm able to write. I'm able to do certain things growing up now as an adult. So now as an adult, I'm very fluent. I could talk. I could speak. I could comprehend, but I learned this on my own. I didn't have to go through these classes. And a lot of people need to catch kids on time when they're young, because I got lucky. I literally got lucky and learned on my own. No one taught me anything. I had to learn on my own. I helped my sister and them help me, but I used to look at their homework and see how they do things, and then I just kept catching up. So you told me that, they kind of hit home, because it's like, wow, I have to let her know that I went through the same thing and being bullied in school and all that stuff. So that's why I'm sitting here, I'm listening to you, and I'm like, wow, we are so compatible. And I grew up in Brooklyn, New York.
Woo, okay.
Yeah, Brooklyn, New York. So
all right.
Yeah, it was crazy, but I appreciate you telling me.
It was tough. It was tough. It was really tough. And I remember when you talk about autism, and that's why I made this movie Gerald's Hands soon. We could talk about that later. I remember kid. I said to my mother, I said, why can't I make any friends? Because I didn't know how to talk to other kids. And I remember one day I said, I'm going to go talk to these kids. And I was so nervous. And I walked over to them, and I couldn't get the words out of my mouth. I couldn't speak. I can't explain it. And I got so nervous that I lost the feeling in my knees, and I fell straight to the ground. The kids were just laughing at me.
Really?
How to do that? And I didn't know, like you said, during that time, nobody's telling us what this is. We're just a little bit different, or they call us awkward, right? We're awkward.
Yeah.
So I was never diagnosed with autism, but my son is autistic, and my son and I are identical. He is the most sweetest, generous, caring, loving person, and his IQ is very high. His IQ is not like an average person's IQ. So it's not, oh, you're delayed or you're slow, or no, it's just that there's a part of the brain that might be a little bit slower than the other part, and that's the social skill. That part, the social skill part is underdeveloped.
Right.
Don't understand. But you know, I have feelings. We all have feelings like everyone else, and autism touches every household, and that's why I wrote Gerald's Hand. We'll probably talk about that later. But yeah, it was a tough time growing up in New York City, like you said. You know, during my time, I grew up in the 80s, in the early 80s, going to school, and it was really tough. But I never used drugs. I never became an alcoholic. I never been to jail because I knew the things to say no to. And I grew up in a household with drugs, people using drugs, a mother and a stepdad strung out on drugs. My mother offered me to smoke crack at 9, and I said no. So I don't think that's a person that's delayed, you know, to do that, to be able to do that. I can't hear. It seems like we lost the sound. Derrick? Oh.
Hello.
Derrick?
Hold on. Yeah, I can hear you now. You hear me?
Oh, yes. Now I can hear you.
Thank God. Okay. We're going to get back to that. Yeah, so we're going to get through this. Trust me. Because this got real interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw the trailer of the movie, but we're going to get into that a little later, like you said. Tell us about your Steve Wilkos experience.
Oh, wow. So, single mom, living in Stamford, Connecticut, 2 sons, working 3 jobs, all part-time jobs, but, you know, it's paying all my bills. I'm literally living hand to mouth, check to check, you know, robbing Peter to pay Paul.
No doubt.
Like, I qualified for nothing. I was trying to get discount with childcare. Oh, you make too much money, but every dime I get is going towards Pampers and, you know, baby wipes and food and rent and all the things, you know, car insurance. No money whatsoever left over. And I broke my wrist. I was talking to my son's daycare teacher, you know, about trying to get some discount daycare, trying to get a scholarship for that, which she said I didn't qualify for. And as we were having this conversation, my son at the time, who was 4 years old, ran out of the school, and there was traffic. All I could think is cars, and my child was so I ran out the door. Instead of me pulling the door open, I pushed the door, broke my own wrist.
Ooh.
Grabbed my son, fell to the ground. Now my wrist is broke. I can't work all 3 jobs. I can't work any of the jobs because all the jobs involve using my hands. And one of the jobs is I was a school bus driver, and I used to drive Steve Wilkos's kids to school in the morning. So I started going to college, like, okay, let me try to do something where I can work 1 job instead of 3. Had a reading level, a 3rd grade reading level, had to take college reading, remedial reading at the lowest level. So it took me like a year and a half just to get to college level reading, right? Because I had to take 3 remedial reading classes. So that's each semester. So it took me, you know, we're talking about spring, fall, then back to spring. So by fall, which is almost 2 years, now I'm taking college classes. But that's what I had to go through just to get to college classes. And time for me, my major was in TV production and media studies. So when it came time for me to do my internship, I went to Steve Wilkos, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember her. She was always on time. She was excellent. Hire her." So NBC hired me. I came on as an intern and a production assistant. So that means you bottom. You literally do everything, but it's good because you learn all these different areas, you know, and departments. You learn how to do so many things. And I did that Then I went on to work for Jerry Springer because Steve Wilkos' wife is the executive producer of his show, Steve Wilkos Show, and the Jerry Springer Show. So then I went on to work for Jerry Springer, and I learned so much. I worked as an assistant editor. I worked in the QC quality control department. So I would literally watch every episode of the show and just check to make sure it passed quality control. Then it went to senior editor. Then it went to the law department because they wanted to make sure that they couldn't get sued. Everything was legit before it actually aired. So I did that, and that was fun. And I felt like, oh, I'm going to be an editor because I don't I don't have to go outside. I can work here in my office, and I would do that for a while. And then I went on to work for the Maury show, and I learned so much working for these shows, working how all the departments and the people and the pieces of the puzzle have to all come together for it to be a great show. There's big eyes and little U's. Every job is important. And I was able to really, really process it all, and I loved it, and then of course in college I already learned how to work in the control room. I learned about broadcasting. We learned about doing documentaries, music videos, film. My professor was worked in Hollywood, so he was a cinematographer and also a photographer, so he knew all about lighting, cinematography, film. So he taught me all of that stuff. His name was Stony Duran. That's my professor in college. He taught me all of that stuff. And he really was a professor that did it for the love. It wasn't so much for the money. It was for the love. I want to give. I enjoyed teaching, and you could tell, and just I learned so much. I didn't know that I would ever use the stuff that I was learning. I never knew I would be here in Georgia and I would use it one day in life. But to God be the glory. We don't know where we're going to be. Only God knows that. But I'm here, and I was able to utilize and use a lot of the skills that I learned in college, a lot of the skills that I learned working for NBC. And it's just a joy to do what I loved. I learned how to read on a college level, and in doing that, I discovered my love for writing. I wrote my first book. My only book, Evergreen Uprooted, Memoirs of Secret. I wrote this book in college, and it's about my life growing up in the South Bronx on Evergreen. I don't hide anything about myself. I'm an open book, and I just want to. Are you frozen? I'll stop.
You hear me?
Oh, I hear you.
I think.
For a minute.
Okay, hold on. You hear me?
Yeah,
I did. I'm freezing now. I don't understand what's going on with my internet. It's going crazy right now. You can hear me though, right?
I can, yes.
Okay. We're going to get out of freezing. I think I'm moving now. Yeah. So, I'm having a lot of technical difficulties, but we're going to get by this. Can you finish the last part of what you were saying? Because I missed the rest of it.
Oh, when I was talking about college or my professor?
Yes.
Yeah, my professor. Stony Duran, he was just brilliant. He was a cinematographer and a photographer out of Hollywood. He worked for Hollywood. He had a great understanding of film, of TV production, of broadcast TV, of creating documentaries, music videos, and he just poured all of his knowledge into his students, and he did it with so much love. And I never knew that I would utilize that stuff that I learned in college. But like I said, to God be the glory, because this is what I'm doing now. I'm doing film. I love film. I wrote my first book in college and I love writing. And it's a gift that I have that I never knew I had. Most of my life, I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be in life. And because my reading was so poor, I couldn't find that passion. I worked all these different jobs and I couldn't find that passion. And when I learned to read, I found my passion for content creating, for storytelling, for writing. And I'm grateful for filmmaking. I'm really grateful for that.
Yes, listen, you out there doing your thing, I'm so proud of you. It is hard for us to really get to do the things that you're doing, and you're doing it in a really classy way. You understand? And I applaud your hustle. You grinding out here, yo, and that takes a lot of character. You have a lot of character to go through the stuff that you've been through and still have the drive and the passion to do what you do. So I definitely applaud you on that. So this movie caught me last night. This trailer, it actually caught me because you see it and people when they see it, I'm gonna show you guys a clip of it. But people when I saw it the other night, I'm sitting there and going, wow, I felt so bad. I felt so bad for him because it's like he's one of the most friendliest people in the world. And all he want to do is have somebody to be his friend and to love. So it really hit me hard last night because I'm going to show you guys, but y'all just look at this part and then we're going to come back and then she's going to explain exactly what this is. So you can actually tell them what's about to come up because I'm about to play this video right now.
Feature movie, Gerald's Hand, starring Andrew R. McAllister. Check it out, the trailer.
All right, no doubt. Let's go. I'll put that in red now.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I'm Gerald, and I'm different.
Gerald has the mentality of a 10-year-old.
Mama said being different makes me very special. Some people want to take me away.
Do you know why I'm here?
Don't let Miss Robinson take Gerald away.
What is he gonna do when you're not around to take care of him?
Why don't you leave him alone? Leave my friend alone.
Joe have very special friend, Shabana. She not letting Joe go nowhere.
Okay, Gerald.
Joe like reading books, dancing, and laughing, and friends.
Hey, Gerald, nice to see you again.
I won't let anyone take you away from here.
I'm trying to hurt you. I just want to help you.
I look over there, I don't see dollar signs. I see souls.
Don't come around here.
Are you okay?
Joe love you.
I love you too, Gerald.
My goodness, what did you just create? Like, what in the world? Listen, he comes out of that screen. I mean, I don't know. He's acting?
Yes.
Is he acting?
Yeah, he's acting.
Yo, let me tell you something. Listen, he was on point. He was on point. I'm sitting here feeling for him like, wow. I'm thinking he's really like that. And I was like, wow, he really did his thing. So that goes into what we was already talking about. So I want you to explain the concept of this movie.
Gerald's Hands. Gerald's Hands is a movie that was made to bring awareness, autism awareness. Autism touches every household and every community. Every single one. And a lot of times everybody's so divided of their different groups, but autism touches every group. And there's a lot of bullying, there's a lot of misunderstanding. And I just wanted to make a movie to say, hey, people who are autistic are human and they want the same things that we do, the same things that you do. They want love. They want to feel like they belong. They want friendship. right? And they deserve to be treated kind and with respect. And so that's really the gist of Gerald's Hands. Gerald's Hands is just an ordinary, simple man, and he's has a pure heart with good intentions. It doesn't take much to make him happy. He's not out there trying to make $1 trillion. He just loves to read his books. He loves his music, and loves his friends and his community. And he tries to keep it clean and take care of everyone around him, including himself. That's Gerald.
Listen, that actually touched me. That touched me. It really did. It really touched me. And
thank you.
I'm looking at it again, and it's like, wow. And then when the guy told him to get away, stay away, like, what is the threat? I'm not understanding the threat. And it's happening to so many people.
Yes, it's some real. And you know, so I wanted to create Gerald's Hands, make it very realistic. It's not something that comes from privilege. He lives in the hood. He's dealing with real situations. And that's because I come from a real situation. So I wanted to make it as real as possible. And so he's living in the hood. He doesn't have much. Of course, he's being bullied, you know, as a lot of people who are different or who have I'm not going to say disability, but who has an ability, right? Especially, they are a lot of times misunderstood and bullied. And so I wanted to show that. I wanted to make something that was inspirational, something that will hopefully inspire people to be kind, to be loving, to be friendly, to be helpful. You know, there's so much stuff. And at the time when I wrote Gerald's Hands, I started off writing it as a psychological thriller, to be honest with you, but I just it started off as a psychological thriller. The story was going to be completely different, but I couldn't do that during COVID. I just wanted to create something inspiring, something inspirational. I was like, I don't want to write anything about negative, and you know, I want to write something that's going to hopefully make a difference in the world and make people feel something. And so that's why I wrote Gerald's Hands.
Wow. Well, you got me feeling something.
We had some autistic actors in the movie. We had Marcus Leonardo Boyd, who is an autism activist, 6-time Emmy nominated autism genius, and he gave us music for Gerald's Hands. We had Pen Game Classic. He wrote an original song. It is amazing. It's called Gerald. Justina Ween, she wrote an original song for Gerald's Hands. It's called Finally Free, and she's been promoting it, and she's in the process of making a music video, and she's amazing. We had he scored the whole entire movie. So we have a lot. Marcus Wilson, he's brilliant, and we have 2 of his songs in Gerald's Hands. So we have a lot of original music in the movie that fits the story.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely fits. That little scene, like I said, it was only 2 minutes, and I already see where it's going, and it's going to be one of those flicks that's going to really make people look and really look at this situation as so many kids out here that's being bullied.
Yes.
Bullied, and they're hurting themselves for it. You understand? I think it's so ridiculous that you can bully somebody so much. You have to be bullying somebody so much for them to want to kill themselves.
Yes.
Like that, and it has to stop. It has to stop because, like I said, I'm 56. I've been bullied. You know, and it's real. This is a real thing, and
it's still happening.
It's still happening. Like all these years, it's still happening. You know, and I think this film will actually get a lot of the parents to wake up. Your kid is being bullied, and you don't even know it. You gotta open communication. You have to have that communication open for the child to come to you and say, "Listen, this is what's happening." Because a lot of them, they actually scared.
And a lot of times the parents know. I remember my son came home from school, and well, first of all, it was a Marvel movie that came out, and I took him to see the movie, and I saw his whole class leaving the theater as we was walking in, and I said, "Why didn't you go with your class?" He didn't say anything, and he loves reading books, and he did something, and I said, "You know, I'm taking this book away from you. And to an autistic person, that's the end of the world. He just started like, he was so upset.
Pissed off, yeah.
He told me, he said, Mom, I do everything to make friends and to get the kids to like me, and they won't. They don't. And I don't know what to do. And that was the first time I saw my son cry and break down. And it broke my heart. I went to the school. I complained about bullying because, you know, when you know how that feels, it hurts you even more. It hurts you more because I know what that's like. And I know how I felt as a child. So I went to the school. I complained. And of course, you know, they were like, you know, there's a no tolerance for bullying. And they got to the bottom of it. But you can't make the kids be nice. I think it starts at home. I believe that we are taught from young children that if you make fun of somebody who is blind, deaf, or in a wheelchair, that's a bad thing and you're a bad person for doing that. But we our children about autism, and it's just bringing awareness to what it is, right? We don't teach them. So I believe that if we teach our children at home that is wrong, then we can eliminate a lot of the bullying in the autistic community. But we have to teach our children. We have to and a lot of kids, they don't know what it is. They just say, oh, you're strange, you're weird. And they start teasing. They don't know what that is. And so, you know, that's what I want to do. I want to, I don't know how long I have on this earth. I hope I have a long time. I really do. But while I'm here, I want to try to make films, and that's going to really help people be better. There's some bullies, even now, you know, even in the film community, and there's just bullies. There's just people who know they can bully, they can take advantage. You know how many producers want to option or get screenplays from people for free? They want to go and make 50 to 100 grand, but they don't want to pay the screenwriter. But a screenwriter so badly and desperately wants to they want to get their stuff on the screen. They'll people. And I'm not saying all people are like that, but there's a lot of just people who take advantage of other people, of their situation. And I just want it to be better. I just want it to be different. You know, so I try to create stories that hopefully will make folks think, will help them to see things differently, you know, from a different point of view.
A different lens, as you say. You know, I get it. I definitely get it because, like King Tech TV just said, it starts at home. It does, because you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
So what happens? What the kids see, they do. So if you see a parent sitting there laughing at somebody that's disabled, that's slow or crippled, if they see it, they're gonna do it as well.
That's
you understand? And you got to teach these kids at a young age because they're very impressionable. Once they see something, they're gonna want to do it. You understand? And it takes the parent to do it, like you said. But you have these young parents. It's some young parents out here that's still very naive to the fact of this situation, to learn about autism, to learn about these spectrums. And what's going on is that they so young, they still laughing at people that's crippled. They still laughing at people that's, you know, supposedly slow in their eyes, you know, and they're not giving a damn about it. And they making them feel bad. They really making these young kids and adults, because as adults is going through the same thing.
Yes, that is correct.
They're going through the same thing. They all they want somebody to do is to love them. And I get it. I get this movie. You really, that little screenplay that you just played me, that shit hit home. It actually did. And you know, kudos to you for writing something so deep. And I can't wait to see this movie. I'm definitely going to see this.
Thank you. Thank you. Are you in Atlanta?
No, I'm actually in Orlando. But I'm in Orlando, Florida. So I really would love to see that. That looked like it's going to be so dope.
Yes, it's going to be dropping soon. I don't want to announce it yet because I haven't, but you'll have a chance to see it really soon.
Yo, you're getting a lot of love up in this building. As you see right there, it have people writing at the thing. You see it? That's King Tech TV.
I can't see it because my eyes, but I put
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
I'm grateful. I'm so grateful because that's what it's about. You know, it's
Yeah.
really about what we do while we're here. And I've reached a point in life where, and I was talking about this earlier, right? I was saying that if I had $100 million, would that make me happy if I was doing something that I didn't love to do? If I had a job that paid me $100 million, would I be happy going to that job if it wasn't something that I love to do? The answer is no.
No, you would not.
The answer is no. So each day I try to do what I love to do. That's it. Do what you're passionate about, what you love to do. Do right by other people. Do right by yourself. And I want to say something too in regards to autism. I was thinking about it. There's a lot of parents who treat their kids differently because they have a disability. I'm going to be honest with you. They make differences. I grew up with, they show favoritism. They make differences because you have a disability. And that affects the child because you feel like, well, what's wrong with me? Why am I not good enough?
See?
And a lot of young girls like myself, I grew up with a lack of self-love, or I grew up feeling like everybody else is more important than I was. I have to take care of everybody. I'm not important. That's how I grew up. So we also have to, even as parents, we have to accept our children for who they are. And we have to build, it's about building one another up and not tearing them down. When I want to find all the things that I love about them that makes them great before I start criticizing. We all have beautiful things about us. God made us great.
Yes, he did.
God made each and every one of us, God made us great. And you got people out there in the world that are trying to make you feel otherwise. They'll try to make you feel like you're awful, you're ugly, you're stupid, or they'll look at, instead of looking at your special abilities, they see it as a disability.
Of course. That's one, you're 100% right about that. You're 100% right. You know, you're literally the first person I talked to about this subject. Wow. So what I explained to you, you literally, this is the first time I said this out loud, besides my family, you know, because this actually hit home, you know. So I'm truly honored that you came on my show today because you opened up a lot of eyes. I had this. I'm putting little clips here and there on my social media, so people definitely going to get to hear this talk because you have some people up in here, and you got a lot of comments going on, and it's a lot because it's hitting them too. You're affecting them, so your movies will affect the masses once they start really hitting that screen.
Thank you.
So you definitely keep doing what you're doing because that little clip alone got everybody in this platform really talking. They actually having conversations. And that's what this is about. Having these conversations with each other and adults and kids to really get the understanding of what these young and adult people are going through.
Yes. Thank you so much for giving me this platform, giving me this opportunity. It's an honor to meet you. It's an honor to do the show. And when you talk about the spectrum and different levels, that's what makes it even harder, like for a person like yourself, because you're on the high end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You're on the high end of the spectrum. So a lot of times when people have a disability, you can see that disability. But what happens when you're on the high end and you can't see it?
See it. Exactly.
Understand.
That's the hard part right there.
You know, and look at you. You are hosting a radio show. You have your own radio show. You speak very articulate, very eloquent, you know, very friendly. I feel welcomed on your show. And I'm really honored to be here. So thank you. Thank you for helping me get Gerald's hands out there and what I'm doing. Thank you so much.
Listen, you're so welcome. Anything we can do as far as in promotion, once that come out, we'll help you with the promotions as well as a company. You know what I'm saying? Because people need to see this. And trust me, I have the clip online on our page. I have just a clip, but I'm going to play the whole thing tonight for people actually to get it.
Yes, thank you.
You know,
thank you.
That guy, he actually followed me today. The actor.
Beautiful.
And I didn't recognize him. I had to really look, and I was like, wait a minute. That's Gerald. Like, oh, snap. All right.
Yes.
All right, Gerald. All right, Gerald.
Yes. And he was just brilliant. He's an executive producer on the project. So we both have been working on it. We filmed it in 2021.
Okay.
And we've been on getting it ready for distribution. Right. Okay. Ready. I'm excited. I want to have a nice screening, for the cast crew, something intimate and lovely for them. And then off it goes. Off it goes out into the world, and I leave it to God to do the rest. I will be doing some promoting and marketing and just learning along the way. That part.
You know what? I'm gonna invite you back. I'm gonna invite you back for this subject, and I'm gonna have a couple of people up here with you. It's gonna be like a panel. We're gonna get through it, because it's like I said, 2111 Radio is a radio show, but we're trying to do more than just radio and music.
Thank you.
If I could put a platform out there to keep people aware of what's actually going on in this world, I'm gonna do that.
Thank you.
I'm gonna definitely do it. So I'm gonna definitely have you come back, and I'm gonna get a couple of people on a panel, and then we just sit here and talk about it like we're doing it right now.
Thank you.
My guy, King Tech TV, that guy, he's amazing. All right, so he's in here. I met him last year, the end of last year, and I explained to him that he's done more for me in the last 2 months than the people that I thought was surrounding me did in 5 to 6 years.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You understand? That guy right there, he's amazing. So I definitely want to connect you with him because he has a show as well.
Okay.
He has a show, and he probably would like to get into this conversation as well. So I'll definitely give you his contact.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Love to come back. Maybe when I come back, I can come back with Andrew R. McAllister, who is a producer on the show, and he's also playing Gerald.
Yes, you could. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna invite Gerald.
Okay.
I'm gonna invite him. Yes. I'm gonna invite him because he is killing that part. I'm sorry, he really is. I thought that was him. I really didn't. And I'm sitting here, I'm looking the way he's talking, the way he's moving, the movements, the way his hand. People don't understand the hand movements. I don't know who he studied. He studied the hell out of that part, but he got that down pat. Like, my goodness. Yes, he definitely had us open on that.
He's gifted. He really is amazing. Just amazing. He has a saying in Gerald's hands, there to it, like that here. And I added that in the script because his dad would always say that. There. So yeah, so it was just a joy. I have to say that I wrote the script in 2 weeks.
Wow.
I had to write it really fast because I had a small window to film it.
Right.
And it's God, how everything worked together in regards to locations, and we did the casting, and just everything came together so well, And I'm really hoping that this story will touch people, open their eyes, bring awareness, and take on a life of its own. But I'm just hoping that it will really touch people and make the world a whole lot better for the next generation coming up.
I definitely believe this is going to be one of those movies, show. I really do believe it. And we're going to do everything in our power to bring awareness to this and this actual movement. Because I feel it's a movement. People really need to get in touch with this because there's a lot of ignorance going on around here.
Yes,
a lot of ignorance. And all these young kids, what they don't understand is these young adults and these young kids, all they want is to be your motherfucking friend. And you don't even want to do that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They just want to be a friend. And come to find out, they're the best friends you can ever have.
Yes.
Loyal. Do anything for you.
Loyal. Pure heart.
Pure of heart. Thank you. Yes. Pure of heart. And it's nothing they wouldn't do for you. But yet they rather somebody that's gonna do them dirty, talk behind their back, or mess around with the girlfriend or mess around with the boyfriend, whatever it is. And they'd rather that than just to take time out to understand this person.
Yes.
Before you.
Yes, that is so true. That is so true.
You, like I said, you got me talking now. You don't understand. We're gonna get into this.
Yes, we have to. We have to talk about it. We really do. Yeah. We have to, because it's still happening. So we have to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's still happening after all these years. Like, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow. It's bad.
And the spectrum, they don't understand. They don't understand at all. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna definitely have you come back, and that's gonna be soon. I'm gonna get my panel together, and then I'm gonna hit you up, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna do a date, and I get the date from you, and then I'll work around your dates because I know you're busy. So, but I'm gonna definitely have you come back, and the talk is gonna be about this whole spectrum and the miseducation of it, and how can we get together and really do some good things. Like that's what this is about.
Yes. And you know who would be good? I don't know if Marcus Leonardo Boyd, who is the autistic activist. He would be amazing if it on your panel as well. Like he's been stuff, and he's just doing amazing things. He has a clothing line. He is an activist. He's been, I think, a presidential award. He's just brilliant. He's brilliant.
Okay, so that's another one. So let him know as well. It's gonna happen. Let him know. We're definitely gonna set a date. We're gonna set a date. I'm gonna have King Tech up here with you and what's his name, Marcus?
Yes, Marcus. Marcus Leonardo Boyd.
Yeah, him. Yes.
Yes.
And we're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk. We're gonna have a long talk because King Tech is my new partner. Like, that's my guy. He has his own show, King Tech TV. The guy's, he's amazing, and he's a music guy, but he's also a human being.
Yes.
You understand? And this is something that I would like to have him in on.
Yes.
Because he's really a really good guy, and I definitely need to have him up here because his platform is a little bigger than mine too, and it really would work. The more people that could come in, the better. And he is definitely one of the guys that I want on this panel. So I'm definitely.
I would love that. Wonderful.
And he's in here. He's actually in here. He just said, "Yes, sir." That's him right there.
Hello.
That's my guy. That's my dude. So yeah. So listen, this has been crazy. I feel like I'm sitting in my living room talking to my sister. So.
Oh man, I do. I feel so comfortable here on the show. I remember the first time I saw you, Lester. You and Lester was on a live. Lester Green.
Yeah.
This guy is from acting. He's a rapper. He's a journalist. He's a brilliant writer. Just a great person. So I know he's listening. I want to say thank you, Lester, for referring me to Derrick. This is a great connection. They call him the connector. So this is a great.
Yeah. Well, he'd be here on 11. I got him booked for the 11, so he'll be here.
Yes, I'm
gonna get that man his roses. He's a good guy. He's really just a naturally good guy. He's not acting. He's actually a good guy.
Yes, he's opening up Gerald's hands. He's the radio DJ.
What?
Yes. Yes.
That's dope.
So it's
so listen. It's been a pleasure, just like I said.
Thank you.
I was looking forward to this, especially after I seen the trailer. I was so excited. I said, and then when you came on my show and then told me about you and your being bullied in school and all this other stuff, that was the nail in the coffin for me. And for me to feel comfortable enough to tell you my story. You understand? So you had me at as soon as you start talking about yourself. So I had to tell you about mine because
Thank you.
A lot of people is going through these things.
Yes.
Like that, and we gotta teach these young kids that's coming up, the new generation, like, yo, stop the bullying. This has to stop because
Yes.
these young kids and young adults is killing themselves because they can't take it.
Yes, that is so true. That is so true. And I was there too. I was suicidal as a kid, you know.
Mm.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't like anything about myself. I didn't like anybody to give me compliments. If somebody gave me a compliment, I would turn it around on them. I would carry myself raggedy because I want to get attention. It was a lot of stuff that the bully, you know, and just growing up in the South Bronx and not having much had to go through. It did a lot to me, to myself.
Yeah.
It did a lot to my quality of life,
Yeah.
and wanting to live. Now I want to live. Now I love, but I didn't, because when you're a kid, you don't really have control over your environment and the things around you. And life was just so hard, and it was so dark, and it was depressing. I didn't see any light, but because of my love for my sisters, and I had a responsibility. God had a responsibility as a kid, and that kept me. And I'm happy that I'm still here, because I feel like my purpose is to touch people and to bring understanding. And I was talking about earlier. You can read a lot of books. Somebody can take my book and read a page, but if they never lived it, they'll never understand.
Right, exactly.
Talk about it, but they'll never have the understanding unless you have been through what we've been through.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that feels like what it does.
And the thing is, they'll feel away, but like you said, going through it, going through those motions and going through all the emotions, and the fact that, I got to go to school tomorrow and go through this again. Like, if you really think about it, it's like, I don't even want to go to school. I play sick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sick. I got a cold or something.
Yes.
Just not to go to school. Or the lunchroom. Oh, I don't want to go to lunch. I eat in the class because I know when I get in the lunchroom, they're going to mess with me again.
Yeah.
But how I fought it, and unfortunately, a lot of people got their butts kicked because what they didn't know, that I was actually just able to fight. So when they start putting their hands on me, that's when the whole thing changed.
Yes.
Now it's like, wait a minute, what's going on? Well, we thought we can beat them. No, y'all can't beat me. No, that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put your hands on me. Verbally, they was messing with me, but physically, it came to a point when I had to show them what it is. And then, it became, I want to be your friend now because I don't want to get my ass kicked.
That's right.
Understand? So it's crazy that I had to go through that, but when they put their hands on me, that's when everything changed and people start saying, "Oh, well, he's all right. He he's not crazy. No, just don't mess with him." But
don't mess with me. And even that is exhausting, because when you're a great person, you really don't want to hurt anybody.
No.
But then you have,
Yeah, you definitely have to.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, AJ says she need to order that now. That book.
Oh, it's on Amazon. It's Evergreen Uprooted, Memoirs of Secret. This is the cover. You can get it in Kindle, or you can get it in paperback on Amazon. Thank you.
Amazon, definitely. I'm definitely an Amazon member, so I'm gonna definitely look at it. I'm gonna get that.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's you killing it. But listen, I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
I'm gonna give any shout outs or anything like that before we go.
Oh my goodness. I want to give a shout out to everybody who's here tonight on listening to this live, supporting Derrick, 2111 radio show, supporting Gerald's hands, supporting what we do. It just means a lot. It really means a lot to have real good people that, sometimes when you're doing what we do, content creation, like even what this show, this is content creation. It gets really hard. It gets really hard, and it's people like you who motivate us to keep going, who support us, who we know genuinely love us, and love what we're putting out there. So I want to say thank you. I want to give a shout out to my family. I want to give a shout out to everybody who the cast and crew of Gerald's Hand. Thank you so much. I'm not missing anybody, but yeah, just give a shout out to God, man, for just being here another day and giving us the life and the energy and just the gift to do what we do, because this is not me. This is the gift that I was given. That's what it is. It's not me. I have a gift.
Yeah.
I have a gift to do what I do, and the gift comes from God. So I want to also give a shout out to God for this gift, and I hope that as long as I'm living, that I'm doing something that's meaningful. You know. Thank you. I'm not perfect. I'm trying to just do good while I'm here, because that's just who I am. It's not I'm doing it to be seen. This is just who I am. That's all. So thank you. Thanks for having me.
You know you're about to get another round of applause. That was beautiful. Like, I'm sitting up here really feeling the way. Like, wow, she's just a really nice person. Like, that's all this is. And she wants to you want to make a mark. You want to let people know about this. And you're going to take everything in your power to make that happen. I could feel that. You're going to do everything in your power to make this happen, you know, and I applaud you, and I will support you no matter what. We got you covered. Trust me when I tell you, we got you covered. You definitely hit something in me, you know, that I haven't thought of in a long time, you know, and when I saw it, it really hit me at home. It was like, wow, it's still happening. Like, you know, you ever see a movie and it's like you thinking everything went away, and then you see something again, it's like, wow, they still doing that? Like, wow.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you had getting hooked on drugs. You had people just doing all kind of stuff to fit in, just to make a friend.
Yeah.
They shouldn't. We should love people for who they are. We
Period.
should accept people for who they are, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. Yo, man. So listen, I'm going to go. Guys, I appreciate everybody that came in this live. It was a lot of people. You had at least, I know you have a lot of people on YouTube, but it was literally like 85 people in here tonight.
Oh, wonderful.
And that's going through different countries like Spain and UK. So it's people up in here that you don't see, but only I can see it on my end.
Yes.
And it's been a pleasure talking to you and getting this conversation going. And we will be continuing this. 2111 Radio's talk show will be back. And I will have this young lady come back along with her peers and my guy, King Tech TV. But thank you again for coming through. I thank everybody for showing up and all the comments. You need to go to YouTube tonight and see all the comments. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. And the chat is crazy right now. Thank you. Know, but I appreciate you guys, and y'all guys have a good night. I want to talk to you behind the scenes, so don't go nowhere.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yep. Take it easy. Good night, everybody.